Hello everyone, and welcome to the second video on making your own balloon car. This video will be talking about the materials you might want to use. If you haven't watched the last video covered the engineering process. You'll definitely want to watch that before you watch this one. Now, when you're brainstorming and designing for any sort of engineering project, you always want to keep your original challenge in mind. In this case, you want your car to go 2 meters. Picking out your materials is really just a part of that process. So what could you possibly use to make a balloon-powered car?
Well, because you're making a balloon-powered car, you're obviously going to want a pack of balloons. This will serve as your engine for the car. You don't have much leeway in choosing whether you can use these, because it is a balloon-powered car after all. Now, aside from the balloons, the car is pretty much up to your own imagination. So, for example, your car obviously needs a body. So, for the body, you could use, for example, a water bottle. The body could also be, like, for example, a box of Pop-Tarts. Preferably when it's empty, because if it's full, obviously it's not going to go 2 meters. You could use a simple LaCroix can, or you could use this. Yeah. Now, in order for your car to run, you're obviously going to need more than just a body, so you'll also need an axle. A couple materials you can use for an axle are, for example, this wooden stick. You could also use some toothpicks if they were long enough. These probably are not, unless if you have a very skinny balloon car. Or you could also use just a standard straw. And obviously your car is going to need wheels. So for example, you could use these caps from a milk jug. You could use this spool of string. You could use a tape roll. You could even use the cap on this thing if you really wanted to. Or you could cut out a piece of cardboard for your wheels. Just make sure they're round. And lastly, of course, you're going to need to make sure you have a way to stick this all together. So you'll need some tape or glue. So with all that in mind, think about this week what materials you might want to use to solve the challenge. Make sure you keep in mind the weight of the car, where the balloon could possibly attach, how easy it is for the wheels to turn, and so on and so on.
So with all that being said, in the next video we will talk about actually building the body of the car. Have a good week.